What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a new College Football 25 main channel Dynasty, as we're coming off the back of a pretty fun series where we did just a coordinator dynasty. We started as a coordinator, worked our way up to a head coach, and we saw the stress levels of being a head coach as we went to 3 straight college football playoffs, lost all 3, and the great Cheeto Williams, much like Urban Meyer, left the Wisconsin Badgers with an illness. That's all we know. Mystery illness. High and dry. That's not good enough for me in the channel. I want to be playing college football 25. So what we have done is we found ourselves a channel legend. You might say, what do you mean, channel legend? Well, for those of you that are real ones, you will remember the name PL Mullins. And we'll leave it at the fact that you know what PL stands for, because we're now going to be a little bit more politically correct. He just goes by PL. But those of you that remember what it stood for, you know what he brings. And he is a recruiter. He is a man that has specialty in the running back field. A former running back. Was a first-round pick of the Toronto Huskies back in 2016. And some say one of the greatest running backs of all time out of Penn State. He is now trying his hand as a head coach. And what we wanted to do was find a program that not only had almost limitless potential for where we could go and grow with it. Florida International, what have they ever done, right? Let's be honest. It's not an illustrious history, but at the state of Florida, we could slowly start building things up. Sky's the limit. There are big-time recruits that we can grow to start getting. There are big-time conferences that make sense if we can earn an invite. Am I picking Florida International because they have the Miami Vice jerseys now? Yes. Yes, I am. The fact that their starting tight end is named Rocky Beers have anything to do with it? Yes, it did. But honestly, what happened was in the coaching dynasty, we were in Wisconsin. I left. I went to Ball State, which we were going to call Ball State. And then literally I got halfway through that season. I was undefeated. I was ranked. And I was like, well, this wasn't much of a challenge. I honestly think there is something to, when you're just playing as a coordinator, especially an offensive coordinator, I think like the sim defense is insanely overpowered, because it's like I did not have a particularly great defense, and I was like, we shut out Ohio State, and I was like, well, this is not what I want. I know I'm personally a big liability when I'm on the defensive side of the ball, but I want to control everything. I want to fall in love with our recruits. I want to throw the football to Rocky Beers, and I want to rock those badass Vice U jerseys and make Florida International the best program in the state of Florida. So we've signed on a 1-year contract here with Florida International. Our goal is to win 4 games, which I think is going to be very doable. Looking at the history of Florida International, not much success. Honestly, we got a bowl win in 2010, a bowl win in 2018, but it has been all downhill since then. So it's going to be on us now in this new NIL era to make the Panthers something special. So let's meet the roster. Looking at the quarterback room, I already think we're going to come in with a hot, spicy take and go with a quarterback change. Keon Jenkins, the sophomore out of Miami, Florida, is the assumed starter. 77 overall, has good mobility, the best athlete of the room. But I'm going to tell you right now, even with, like, you could tell me what his accuracy are. 88 throw power is just not doing it for me. And the style of quarterback that I'm looking for, and the guy that I'm miring, is Amari Jones, the also sophomore out of Florida. Does have a deal breaker, which is playing time. But, you know, that might not be that much of a deal breaker for much longer, because you look at the stats. 94 throw power, so +6 over the assumed starter. Has good mobility, accuracy, 85 throw on the run, which works. IQ's only going to get better. Now, the skill caps kind of suck, but he has unlimited skill caps for his power. So 94 throw power might not be his cap there. So, theoretically speaking, he could get 99 throw power. That's our quarterback. Go to the backfield here. Keon Owens got great speed. I mean, we got our type, man. That's what we want. We want athletes out of the backfield. The junior here out of Miami, Florida, checks the box. We have the senior Lexington Steele Joseph, who also has some pretty decent speed. But I definitely think that will be an area we want to recruit strongly at, as all of our top players are on the older side. We are not a program currently that utilizes a fullback, but knowing PL Mullins and his smash mouth style of football, that could change with our first recruiting class. Wide receiver room. This is one of those things where I would love to see this team at any rating have like a true burner, which is not really what we got. We got Kyle McNeil, the freshman, 6'1" with 91 speed, 92 acceleration. We got 91 speed on the senior Matthews, 92 speed, 91 acceleration on Siwan Nopierre. Great name, great speed. Definitely going to utilize him. But 2 of our 3 top wide receivers have complete dog crap in the speed department. So we're going to definitely need to rely on Eric Rivers and Nopierre to really get that ball downfield. But if we're force feeding anyone, we're force feeding the great Rocky Beers. Probably one of the all-time names right now in college football. Reliable. Not going to win a whole lot with his speed, athletically speaking. Maxed out at his skill cap as a junior. But I'm seeing a guy that absolutely will develop into a safety net with that 81 hands rating. The offensive line is not great. It's about what you'd expect for a 1.5-star, 76 overall program. We got Travis Burke, 77 at left tackle, 72 on the freshman Jaheim Buchanan, 73. Got a lot of depth at center. Not great depth, but just depth is depth. Nair Jackson at guard at a Philly. Looks pretty solid for a sophomore. And we're likely going to be rocking and rolling with a freshman at right tackle. Definitely concerned with the O-line, and will be an area that we try to recruit. And, when we have to divvy up our hours, which aren't going to be a lot. Tiebreakers, if we find some good guys on offense, good guys on defense, I think right now we're definitely going to side with improving the offensive line if we have to make a tough call. Defensively, on the front, we got Keegan Davis, the junior, out of Florida, 75 overall. A little bit on the slower side. On the opposing, we got Eddie Walls, the third, a junior, Claude Larkins, but just definitely don't have a lot of big-time athleticism on the defensive line. We have Pasmore. I was like, man, look at the speed on this guy. But then you see, wow, only 82 strength, and he's 280 pounds, so he's just really a bigger defensive end. Quaylon Hill has 93 strength. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then he's 5'11". Unique, very unique build for the junior. Tatum's there as well, 75. So we're going to have a decent rotation there, but definitely not like, as casual as it sounds. I like to use the D-line when we got a fun player there. Don't think that's going to be the case here for FIU. Linebacking core also not the best, particularly slow here. You see 76, go, oh, that's not that bad. And then 73 speed, that is going to get picked on in coverage very consistently. Middle linebacker, Elijah Anderson Taylor, also 75 speed. Good God, we are going to get absolutely murked over the middle of the field. Barnes is a little bit better, but definitely very concerned about the speed that we got at linebacker. In the secondary, we got some ballers. Hezekiah Masses, the junior corner here, must have been a transfer. I don't know if they just, oh my God, but 84 overall. Got 81 in the man coverage. Look at the very limited skill caps. Big time athlete as well. One of those guys, like, I wish we got a little bit of Travis Hunter. Like, can we put him, what's his catching? With that speed, honestly, can you, okay, well, 70's not that great. It's not brutal. May have to consider playing him at wide receiver a little bit. Then we have Brian Blades, the second, 2-star recruit. Not necessarily like a height, weight, speed guy by any means, but 86 in his zone coverage, 86 in his man coverage, and decent enough of an athlete that I definitely think we have 2 lockdown corners, which yin and yang, right? You either have a good pass rush that can get home, or you have a good secondary that can get coverage sacks and free things up for maybe not the most talent on our front seven. I think that is going to be the case here. We're absolutely going to have to rely on our secondary. We have 2 decent safeties here in Jamal Potts and CJ Christian, both seniors, so not necessarily a lot of long-term options here. And then at strong safety, JoJo Evans, the junior, one of the highest-rated players on the team with that 80 overall, coming in as a big-time, look at that, 87 pursuit, 75 tackle, very smart player, 82 hit power. He honestly might have to kind of play a little bit of linebacker. Special teams are, what it is. I just see, honestly, average players, but I'm seeing 2 seniors, so that means, unfortunately, for our limited recruiting hours, we're also got to spend some of that on kicker and punter, which is not ideal. But at our opening schedule, definitely our toughest game of the year is week 1 at Indiana. Kirk Cignetti got Indiana playing outstanding football. Don't even judge them on that 4-8 record. They have an outstanding. They got a Canadian under center. He's crushing it. Central Michigan probably will be a little difficult. Liberty has Salter at quarterback, who's probably going to be the toughest quarterback we play all season long. But honestly, I'm looking at this and saying, we went 4-8 last year. We might be able to inverse that and go 8-4. Sometimes for recruiting, like in our rebuilds, we like to put some house rules in that we can only go after players that have interest in our program. And I think that's just like a smart rule of thumb anyways, especially when you're a smaller school and you have limited hours. But I don't really want to operate with any house rules. Like if we, for example, maybe not this year, but if we want to chase a quarterback and none of the quarterbacks, we're not probably going to be getting 4 and 5 stars. That's been patched and it'll be incredibly difficult to get. But say, if I want a quarterback that's a cannon of an arm, and all these 3 stars that are showing interest have like 86, 87 throw power. I don't want to just be like, well, that's a bad roll this year. Like if I have to open things up, go to players that aren't interested, but keep digging and finding someone that has that cannon of an arm, I will be able to do that. But right now, we're definitely going to be just kind of going off our recommended board here and trying to fill it with players that want to buy in to Vice U. And because we only have 5 on hours, definitely want to keep our board. It'll be a little lofty, but I'm going to say 20. 20 or under. That's kind of what I want to work with. So we're going to start at quarterback with the highest rated rank recruit. I do like scramblers, so we're going to take a look at George Hendershot. At running back, we get a top 1,000 player here in Nicholas Duval, who has us at number 5. Got a couple 3 stars that have us as their number 1, so I would more so kind of view those guys as guys we can come back for. We'll throw Gatto on as well. But push comes to shove, our prospect list gets a little big. I think we could probably shave it down to starting out with 1 running back prospect. Wide receivers, where we got to open things up. We have Bobby Tyner, top 1,000 player. We're in his top 3. He's a deep threat. That is the archetype we want to be looking for and trying to chase after. We have Rios, 3-star. Roche. Throw Rios out there because he's 1. We have a top 500 player in George Ismail. He is a JUCO. Top 1, that's interesting. Is he a deep threat? He is a deep threat as well at 5. You know what? Screw it. We will. And then we got Braden Louis. Another decent player. All right, we'll throw him on the list. Got a great starting point here at tight end. Carl Pritchett. Top 1,000 player. Has us as his number 1 school. Easy enough. The offensive line is where we definitely need some TLC. So we're going to start here with Soto, the 6'7". Not even a pipeline fit. So then you really know he's vibing with the jerseys. We have Bua, 3-star, who has us as our number 1 school. So, anyone else has us as our 1, I think we'll jump on there. At guard, what do we got? We got some big guards. That'd be cool. Duarte, 3-star. We got a top 1,000 player here in Jamie Knight, 700. So, we'll throw him on there. We have another one in Nazalik. As I said, in his top 5. Wish we had a little better rolls, to be honest with you. Like, better starting points, because we're not going to be able to throw a whole lot of points at these guys right away. Like, a lot of them are going to be getting 15, 20 max. We got 2 centers here. Levi Rambo and Ikujubia. He's a JUCO guy. That'll be the tiebreaker. We'll just go with Rambo at center. Now on the defensive side of the ball, this is how I want to start it. We have Rivas, who's a top 500-ish player, number 1 school. La Couture, 500-ish. And then we got, this is just obviously a match made in heaven. Nick Stoner, top 500 player, his number 1 school. We got a lot of depth at D tackle right now on the roster, so we don't need to stretch ourselves too thin at that position. But we get a top 1,000 player here. And Mike Kimball, who has us as our number 1 school. So we'll try our best to just maintain that with likely, again, 15, 20 hours a week. We got another 500-ish player at outside linebacker where he's a pass rusher. We have him at number 3. Mara Morosa. I do want pass coverage guys because we need speed. And pass cover linebackers tend to have the most speed. So we see we got Spriggs, pass coverage, top 1,000 player done. We got Coronado, 6'6", the number of the beast. Welcome to the board. Not a great role at middle linebacker, so we'll just throw the only 3-star that has us at number 1. That's not a JUCO. We got some love at corner. Top 500 player in Casa has us as number 2. Top 1,000 in Yoder has us at 1. 500 at Catanzaro at number 1. We have Durbin number 2 and a top 500 in Greg Kareem, inspired by Cooper DeJean as his number 1. Free safety, we have 2 top 1,000 players have us as their number 1, so that's easy enough. Like usually you get that as a starting point. You should feel somewhat confident that they're not going to have to require a whole lot of hours. Nothing there at safety. We do need to get a kicker and a punter. So I suppose we'll just kind of trust the board here and go with the best match. So we'll go with Rich at kicker. And at punter, we'll chase the only 3-star that has on his interest board. So we're going to have to be very meticulous in who we scout because we don't have a lot of hours. I got to make sure at least we shave off. I want to try to get out all the weeds, all the busts, need them off the list, and we'll see by doing that if we can get this board as close to 20 as possible. But look at George Hendershot, 3-star gem, 95 throw. There you go. I want you bad. You are already number 1 on my board. I want speed. Duval has 89. Gatto has 90 acceleration to try to save some points. We'll shave him off. Goodbye. We're looking at speed at wide receiver, and unfortunately not really getting it. Tyner has 94 acceleration at 6'3". So I guess we'll try to get that. Rios doesn't really have much, 88 acceleration, so I imagine the speed's not going to be that much better. Even though, I mean, it's on the high end. Oh, he's a bust. Get him off the board! But the JUCO Ishmael with 93 speed, that's all I need to see. You're getting yourself a little scholarship offer. Ooh, it's a commit, Carl Pritchard. Let's go. Dude, I don't even get that sometimes when I'm like a 5 prestige program. We get it. Great roll, FIU. Already, PL Mullins working the streets. Word is out. We're probably getting pretty close to how much we could scout. I was able to shave off 2 linemen. This Minnesota's got to be pretty tough. Starting with size top 5, but we'll just see. Plus, all these guys that we got first, now I have this false sense of expectation that, hey, maybe they will skip. Maybe we just didn't get a great roll. We got a gem in Levi Rambo at center. So if push comes to shove, especially between him and Knight for our interior linemen, we will likely just, commit the points to Rambo. So week 0, no games. So here's how we're going to kind of divvy up our 400 points. We're going 40 on Hendershot. He's easily the one that, I will sabotage other positions if, some of the other schools start to make ground. I don't like the fact that Florida and Florida State are interested. But if it does become a race between us and, say, South Florida, we will definitely start to, kind of adjust our board appropriately. But for the most part, I mean, we got first for a lot of our targets. Ishmael, the speedster, prioritizing him a little bit. The fact that we're only second, we'll go 35, but 15 here. We got Stoner, great name. Looks like it's going to be a battle between us and Florida Atlantic, so we're going to go up 30 there to try to get back. Coronado, Mr. 666, 35. 35 on Kareem, the 6'3", Cooper DeJean-inspired corner, but he's pretty close to Florida Atlantic, so that might be a lost cause. We'll try to reintroduce, and then everyone else getting 15. Board is stretched, and I do think in a perfect world we would have, 13, 14 targets, and we'd be able to have more than 15, and we wouldn't be stretched as thin, but it's kind of the challenge you embrace when you go to Florida International. All the work this offseason, it's now time to get the job done. We got Indiana. They got a better quarterback. They got better skill position players. They got a better offensive line. They got a better defensive line. They don't have a better jersey. They don't have more heart. And we're getting ready to unleash the PL Mullins system on the world of college football. You may say to yourself, C4, I don't really remember what PL Mullins was about. I know you say he's a channel legend. I know you've had him in your Madden series back a couple years. What was PL Mullins about? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Before, pardon my French, okay? Plug your ears if you don't like swearing. But before, we had the fuck it and chuck it offense, right? That's where it's just send to your fast guy. Well, the PL Mullins offense is run through a motherfucker's face offense. That's what we run. And that's what we're going to bring, that stuff, that attitude to FIU football. And we're going to put Indiana, those Hoosiers, whatever the hell a Hoosier is, we're going to welcome them to the PL Mullins era. Oh, no. They got a rock. Scared. So intimidated. I want to tombstone pile drive them on that rock. That's what we're doing. Boo! Boo! A rock. Kidding me? Is that what a Hoosier is? Rock lover? Look at that, man. First rep. Nothing. And now this is a little bit Canadian crime here with Curtis Rourke, number 9 under center for the Hoosiers. But it's what needs to be done. There we go, 3rd and 10. Blitz gets there. And on the opening drive, Passmore with the sack. And the defense gets off the field. Surrender Cobras already from Hoosier fans? Let's get the run going here. Get the clock going as well. Okay. Running right through dudes. Third and 3, something simple. We got Rocky Beers, middle of the field. Owens out of the backfield. Damn. Throw it! That's a touchdown if he pitches that. Oh my God, fellas. All right, good pursuit there, bringing him down. We get a chance to bend, not break. We got Passmore. That's what he wants. He wants them to be passing it more. So we can get after the QB here, and there's just a wide open slant. All right, I respect it. As a slant enthusiast myself, I respect that call. All the good players from James Madison last year who were one of like the better non-Power 5 programs. So technically they're a little bit of a super team. They literally have the best players from Indiana and the best players from James Madison, and they made them into a one super team. So we're not a super team. We're the lowest team in Florida. Oh, come on, Beers. The first touchdown of this series needs to be to Rocky Beers. And by that, I mean we're just going to fucking fumble it on our 2 drives. That's what I mean, actually. Damn it! Get that off. I was in coverage with it. Let me make a play on it. I'm a playmaker. Now, as we're getting our cheeks clapped here a little bit, we got to remind ourselves that this is the Indiana that arguably is like a top 10 team in college football right now in real life. So I'm annoyed that the mistakes have been fumbles. It's not like we just can't compete. Who knows? We've got a drive going there, and then it's a ridiculous fumble. And then they got this Surratt guy that was all world at James Madison. Losing to a team whose thing's a rock. And they got Big Jake the Cannon. We need to bring out Big Justice. That's what we need. And the Rizzler. Here we go. Try to get something out to Rocky Beers, who was wide open. But again, the O-line is getting absolutely dominated. You know, we made the bold choice to go with, as far as the team that we were inheriting, the 4th quarterback on the depth chart. I don't necessarily think we can write him off from this performance. I think, well, that's a terrible ball. I think we're not really putting him and giving him an opportunity to show if he's the guy or not. Oh, come on, fellas. Too easy. Bump and run. Get in their face. Probably go aggressive. 0 blitz and just one of the day. Get your hardest game out of the way, your first game. Ooh, Pierre. It's got to be Canadian. That's a very Montreal-sounding name, Pierre. Oh, no. Go away. Love it. Damn it! We kick this? 50-yarder. We're getting points. My God, dude. The amount of time! There's just no chance. It's unbelievable from this first game. Thought we'd be ready, man. With all preseason. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is not PL Mullins, guys. This is the team that we inherited. It's got to take a little bit to get our guys in the building. And we're just trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. There we go. Bring his ass down. Let's bend, don't break. Let's not give them up a touchdown here. Let's put a good rep on tape that says we can stop teams. Let's go. I love seeing that. There we go. A little bit of fight. JoJo Evans. Told you. We're going to have to use the safety at a little bit of like a hybrid linebackers. Our linebackers are terrible. And we got a playmaker there. Oh, bring it in. Oh, bring it in. Come on. 3rd 10, double slant, 4-down territory. Let's go. Lex can steal out there. Makes it a little bit more manageable of a 4th down. I will say, playbook adjustments need to be had. Not a fan of just assuming we're like, all right, PL Mullins doesn't have this gigantic Rolodex of play calls as a first-time head coach. So we just inherited and took over, like blew the dust off the old Florida international playbook. And we're using that right now. I'm telling you, this is a shambolic offense. We're going to need something a little better. Well, 4th and 18. Who wants to make a play? You know what? We already got our backups in, and they still have their starters out. I think that's, pretty embarrassing. Dog shit from Indiana and Cignetti, to be honest with you. I'll remember this. Might not be next year. Eventually, Florida National, we're going to be in a better spot, and I'm going to reschedule Indiana, remembering our first game of this series. And it's going to be revengeful. You know what? We got some good things. We got to... What's a good offense PL Mullins should inherit? Let me know in the comment section below. Because just assuming that we can just run Florida International's old offense, that was foolish. That was naive. What is PL Mullins' playbook? What is PL Mullins' offense? What should be our identity? I want smash mouth. I want an offense that, that's not this. Let me know in the comments. Lost to a team who thinks a goddamn rock. Unreal. What are the stats? Positives that we could take out of this one. Well, one is as a Canadian. Awesome to see. But for us, I just, O-line. O-line didn't give our quarterback a chance. Owens felt pretty decent. I think he's gonna, against lesser opponents, he's probably gonna take the game over. Jean Pierre got open a little bit, but definitely just couldn't get a great vibe offensively, where we're going to be as a passing offense. But on the defensive side, there was some good. JoJo Evans, kind of now using him as a money backer. 4 tackles, 2 TFLs, sack and a half. Sack from Pasmore. A couple out there by Dwight Nuno and Travion Barnes. Again, Indiana's probably the hardest game we play all year. Just rip that Band-Aid off, and it's all uphill from here. But again, we're going to debut next episode with a new offense. Let me know which one we should maybe go with. You didn't get to level 2 with PL Mullins, which I just got breaking news on my phone. Level 2 now unlocks the ability to modify your playbook. So that's pretty sick. So that is where we're going to wrap up today's episode. We got the groundwork set. I'm pretty pumped to get into a long-form college football franchise because obviously Madden hasn't been hit. We still got the Vikings franchise, but that's in limbo until gameplay gets into a little bit better spot. This is the premier football game that's on the market right now, so I'm very excited to get into a little bit more Vice U before too long. So thank you guys very much for watching. Please, again, let me know in the comment section below which offense could we potentially explore, because I was just naively open-minded to just, buying in to the Florida International program, when the reality is we should have found our own identity. So let me know what you guys are thinking, and it don't have to be meta. If you've gone out and had a fun offense, something that's underrated, a sleeper that you think I should try out, let me know, because I'm open to any and everything to try to make the most out of our very limited offense, where we do have strength in the run game. Not much quarterback, not much at O-line, not much at wide receiver outside of the great Rocky Beers at tight end. But that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. It's getting very close to 175,000 subscribers here on the channel, which is ridiculous to say. That is a lot, and it's been a long time coming. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go play a little bit of the new Call of Duty, and I'll see you back here in the next one. Peace. I love you. Have a good one.